Hello everyone. So today we are going to start a new poem which is prescribed in your class 10 textbook First Flight. And the name of the poem is Dust of Snow. Now this poem is written by Robert Frost. So you must have come across his poems earlier in class 9, which is The Road Not Taken, and you already have some ideas about what kind of poems he writes. So, though this poem is a small poem, it's not very long, but the symbols are shown by very simple things like probably the tree or the snow, etc. Now, let's have a look at the poem. Dust of Snow by Robert Frost. The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. So you can notice that the poem consists simply of two stanzas, and each of the stanzas is made up of 4 lines. So there are 8 lines in this poem. Now let's delve into the poem. The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. So the poet starts talking about a winter day, and on winters you can imagine that in western countries, colder countries, everything is covered with snow. There is nothing where you can see any greenery. The trees, the land, everything is covered with snowflakes. So the poet was walking under one such snow-covered tree. He was passing by and he was walking through such a snow-covered tree. And what tree was it? It was a hemlock tree. And if you have never heard of a hemlock tree, you will notice that hemlock trees are known for its poison. It is associated with poison, and because of this, poison is also made from the hemlock. So we can say that the hemlock is a symbol of something negative. Hemlock is symbolizing negativity. So when the crow came and sat down on the tree, suddenly the snowflakes fell down. It fell down because of the movement of the crow on the poet. The snowflakes were so light and small that the poet thought that maybe these were just like dust particles, very tiny dust particles, and that it was a shower of snowflakes from the hemlock tree. So we can see that everything was static, there was no movement, there was negativity. But suddenly the crow came. The crow came, and the poet, who was not happy, who was probably very sad or was not having a good day, was shaken by this sudden movement of the crow. Now look at the next stanza. Has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. So now in second stanza, however, the poet says that when the snowflakes fell upon him, when he was standing near the hemlock tree and the crow came and shook the snowflakes on him, suddenly something changed. It changed his mood because he felt good about it. Earlier he was in a very sad or despairing mood, but after the snowflakes were all over him, he suddenly changed his mind. He changed his mind means it made him happy, it gladdened his heart. And more than this, another important thing that the snowflakes had on it, another effect that the snowflakes had on it, is that particular day when he was walking by, he was not very happy, and the day was also not going well according to him. But suddenly, because of this small situation, this small change in the situation, he became happy, and he decided that he will not let that particular day go waste. So the shower like snow changed his mind, and it made him feel that the day was not completely wasted. That means if something is wrong with you for some time, it doesn't mean that everything will be wrong with you forever. At one point of time, you will realize that everything can be corrected. And the same thing happened with the poet. While the first part of the day was going wrong, but after the arrival of the crow, everything changed. There was a inversion, there was a change in the mood, and this gave a new experience to the poet, and he could recall this, he could make a memory of it. So that is what this poem is talking about. So now the first thing that I want you to remember is that whenever you are reading a Robert Frost poem, always remember that though his poems may look very simple, but there is a hidden meaning. There is always a deeper meaning behind his poems. And this poem is also an example. This is no different from his poems. And it is written in a very beautiful way, in a wonderful way. And other than that, the most important thing here is that you must keep note of the lines, of the rhyme scheme, of the poetic devices that has been used in this poem. So the rhyme scheme. Now let's look at the rhyme scheme. We have seen that there are 8 lines total in the poem, which is 2 stanzas having 4 lines each. So let's look at the first stanza, and we will just focus on the last words of each line. Crow, me, snow, tree. So if you look here, you will see that crow is rhyming with snow. So crow and snow, just write down A in front of the line, and for me and tree you write down B, because me is rhyming with tree. So what is the rhyme scheme? The rhyme scheme will be A B A B. Now if you look at the second stanza also, you will see the similar pattern. You will see that heart in the first line and part in the third line are rhyming with each other, and mood in the second line and rude in the fourth line are rhyming with each other. So we can say that the rhyme scheme in the poem Dust of Snow is AB AB. Now let's move into the poetic devices. So you already know that when we are dealing with poems, when we are trying to explain a poem, we should always know what poetic devices, what literary devices are being used to make the poem more expressive. So here the first poetic device that you may write is assonance. So what is assonance? Assonance is the repetition of a vowel sound throughout a line. Throughout a line, whenever a vowel sound is repeated again and again, then you may write that the literary device assonance has been used. So in this poem, you will notice that in stanza 1, line 2, you can see that the sound O shook down on me. Shook, double O, down O, O. It has been repeated again and again. So O is very prominent. O can be seen very easily. So assonance has been used in this line. And the other poetic device that has been used here is enjambment. Enjambment. Now what is enjambment? Enjambment is when the same sentence continues to the next line without any use of punctuation marks. It is almost like a train running quickly, where there is no full stop, no comma, as if the poet wants to write it down in a single line without having to stop. So that is called enjambment. It has been used throughout the line because you can see that the poem, from the beginning till the end, there is no comma or full stop. It is only at the end of the poem that the poet has put a stop to it. So that is the explanation of this poem, and I hope you have understood the poem. So I hope that you will love this poem. You can explain this poem later on, and you can also understand what poetic devices will be used in the poems that we are going to read ahead. Thank you.